This YieldMax ETF I'm going to talk about today is one of the best YieldMax ETFs. Not only it has paid enough good amount of dividend, but also it has return. It has a good capital appreciation. I admit it doesn't pay a huge amount of dividend, for example, like Ulti, but it has paid enough amount of money that you can actually retire. For example, if you invested only to 100,000, you're going to generate about 31,097 per year. And if you put $200,000, you can actually retire. Not only you going to get this money, but also your capital or $200,000 is going to be growing. So that's a great. So I'm going to reveal what this ETF is and how you can invest to retire. So first thing we're going to look is the ETF itself, which is YieldMax MSFT Option Income Strategy ETF, or MSFO. Okay. This is Microsoft, and I don't have to introduce to tell you what Microsoft is. You all know what Microsoft does. So the price range between 52-week range is between 1953 to 2348. So today price is 2161, and of course this rate calls, or it does write a synthetic cover call ETF on Microsoft, which is this guy here. Microsoft is one of the biggest. I think is number 3 or 2. The first company, of course, is Apple. I think Microsoft is number 2 in terms of capital appreciation, capital market cap. Right now is a 3.37 trillion, right? It's a huge company and it's not going anywhere. So if we look at Microsoft itself, stock, we can see 1 year it was at 345 to right now it's 454. So if you invested in Microsoft itself, of course you will have a lot of capital appreciation. But of course, most people who are watching this video are passive income investors, so they're investing in these YieldMax ETFs. So if we go to the distribution history, we can see the first time they start paying a dividend was on the October 16th, 2023. That was only 27, and they've been paying up and up and up, of course. And then this month they pay a little bit less, but they've been paying for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 10 months. So this ETF hasn't been out for 1 year yet, but has been paying since it came out. And of course the yield right now is very low per YieldMax standard, though. It's 20%, but yield is not everything. I'm going to show you the performance and how much you will generate using that yield, and of course an average yield. So if we go down to inception date when this fund came out, by the way, for people who don't know what these all these YieldMax ETF do, they pretty much YieldMax ETF, or any YieldMax ETF, right call on synthetically. Okay, and main objective is to, of course, to seek income from those call they write, and also second objective is to have exposure to that underlying stock, or the stock that they write and call from. So in this case is Microsoft. Now if we look at the inception date, it came out to the market on the August 24, 2023, and it traded New York Stock Exchange. Expense ratio is 0.99, so very low, because they pay 20, 40, 30%. So if you pay 1%, you're still getting 29% in dividends. And market cap right now, net asset has 83 million. So it's not huge as, for example, Ulti. And then what else? So now if we look at the return, has returned about 40%, right? Holding, of course, he holds a right call on Microsoft, and these are different dates on the call that they write. So if we go to my spreadsheet that I made here, the first thing I'm going to show you is the distribution, because this is very important. The first time they pay distribution is it was October 16th, and then they've been paying, not all inconsistent, of course, same as any other YieldMax ETF. So but what I usually do average, right? So if we look at the average distribution is 56 cents, right? This is, do all of them together, you get 56 cents, but altogether so far they've paid $5.56. So if you add that to the price, you are getting about 27. So let's say, for example, you invest all your dividend, your price right now will be 27, and that will give you 41%. Now if we use that distribution that they've paid, the last time they paid, which was 38 cents, and if we look at the average, which is 56 cents, we're getting the yield between 21 to 31%. So now, if you use that yield of 21 or 31%, either one of them you're going to use, you're going to make a lot of money. For example, this is a regular, this is what they just paid last time. So if we go with that yield, which is 21%, regular yield is at 100,000, that will give you 21,000 a year. And if you put 200,000, you're gonna give you 42,000. So 42,000 is not enough money for you to retire for most people. But some people will, if you have other type of income, of course, you'll be able to retire with only 42,000 USD. But now, if we go on average, though, right? Because you I love to calculate on average because that's average is reality, right? Average $100,000, you're gonna get the same amount of shares, right? That will give you 31,000. But if you put 200,000, that will give you about $62,000. And that $62,000 USD is a good amount of money for you to be able to retire. Of course, I'm not going to put tax on top of that because tax everybody pays differently. So I usually don't calculate taxes. I leave that to accountant. So you can talk to your CPA if you're going to invest $200,000 to want to retire. Now I know and I admit this ETF, of course, if we look at the yield right now, it doesn't pay as much, right? So for most people, be turned off by this yield. So what I would suggest or say is that because it pays lower, but the capital appreciation of this ETF is great because it does. We see it did not decay, it didn't go down as any other, for example, OTO or Tesla. So you can always balance. You can have this ETF with other YieldMax ETFs, which are a bunch of them here. You can pick and choose which ones, and that's how you diversify, and also you kind of balance. So you have the very volatile, for example, Tesla and Coney and which one, MVDY, and you can have MSO4, which is Microsoft, which is very steady Eddie. It pays low, so you can mix and match, and that's how you create a perfect portfolio. So again, guys, I just want to keep you updated on the YieldMax ETF, which is a great, but most people don't talk about it. And the main reason why I say it's great is because it did have a great return, right? And also it paid dividend, which will be enough for you to be able to retire. So that's all. I feel like this content, as always, just make sure you like and share with someone who will find this video helpful. And also, if you haven't subscribed, just make sure you do so. I'll catch you on next one. Bye bye.